Live from the heart of the blockchain, two legends rise.
Yo, it's Airwink in the cockpit, DJ Orakle in control. Teach your main city like it's coded in their soul. From the basis to the D plays, every tool, every tip. They'll turn noobs into legends on this crypto trip. Grinding mission, stacking loot, dodging fakes, making moves. You got question, they got proof. Boost defense, point prestige, more finesse. Main city ain't a game, it's a whole mindset test. Loaded lions in the streets, cubs chasing that bread. Every stat, every buff, yeah, it's all in your head. So plug in, level up, learn the code, know the plan. With Orakle and Airwink, you gon' master the land.
Welcome to the show, where crypto meets the grind, where knowledge drops hard and the game's redefined. This ain't no chill, this is strategy and wit. Main City 101, now let's get it lit. Welcome to the show, where crypto meets the grind, where knowledge drops hard and the game's redefined. This ain't no chill, this is strategy and wit. Main City 101, now let's get it lit.
Welcome back, everyone. This is our Wink 7. I'm joined with DJ Orakle, and this is podcast number 23. The 13th one for season 3. So welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you guys all performed well in the Wolfies Blitz and maybe even tuned into the space we're going to talk about a little bit later, along with the dev diaries. But yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of, I guess, good and bad stuff to discuss, depending on how you want to look at it. So yeah, thank you for joining me, DJ Orakle. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Arguing. Thank you for having me again. Everything good. Blitz was pretty good. Always enjoy a competition. Yeah, you definitely said it right. There's a lot to talk about, a lot of things going on. So it's perfect timing for us to drop this podcast. So thank you for having me again. How you doing?
Yeah, doing pretty well. Trying to beat the heat here in Thailand. So, it's all good over here, though. So I guess
Nice.
we can run through the topics right now, do quick little shout outs, and then we'll just hop into discussing the Wolfies Blitz. We'll probably be pretty brief on this, and then really the meat and potatoes of this podcast is going to be the news drop that we got as part of that X Space with the Medieval Empire game, as well as the dev diaries that came out a couple days after that. I guess, do you want to just hop into it, or do you got anybody else you want to shout out?
Just shout out to everybody who's been active in the Discord, who's been active in spaces, and let's just jump right into it if you want.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'm sure some of the passionate people will get brought up during discussions later on. So, Wolfies Blitz. I mean, I think that was probably one of the bigger spend blitz that I've seen. A lot of people purchasing and trying to push for that top 100. I mean, rightly so, right? The extra $100 worth of pack was a very big incentive for people to spend probably close to $100 to get there. I know myself, and I believe you'd said as well, you had purchased a few businesses there near the last day just to sort of maintain rank, right? So, overall,
Yes.
how do you think your Wolfies Blitz went?
It was good. It was a lot of fun, especially because, like you said, at the last few days, you could see people moving on the leaderboard a lot faster than other in other comps. The spending went pretty well, like you said. People were trying to reach for that top 100, and so it enhanced the prize pool. There were some people getting them diamonds up there. But yeah, like you said, I had to buy some businesses because I was afraid of getting out of the top 100. I ended up at 94. This time around, my strategy was start from the beginning and try to rank up as many points as I could at the beginning and try to get as high as I could, and then just try to get a parachute on my way down and try not to fall as fast. For a while I was up there.
You were up in like the top 10 at one point, weren't you?
Yeah,
On live there?
for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
On live. Yeah, on rank. I think for a while. I have it on a video. I should go back to it. But yeah, I was like, I got lucky with an arcade.
Oh, nice.
So that helped me to get to. Yeah, that helped definitely. When you're at P0, everything really helps. Everything, like all the big businesses, even on commons, really help out instead of having just a bunch of commons.
Yeah,
So that arcade really helped those first few hours and really helped me to be up there in the live in the top 10 for a while.
yeah, and that gets you a good accumulation of points right at the start, right? So nice. No,
Yeah, yeah.
I
How
mean,
was
I did my
your
typical,
experience?
right? Just sort of hang back and then play for that first 10x, and it worked all right. I mean, I think
Mhm.
what was it? What did they hit? 44, I think maybe a little bit higher on the final leaderboard rank after that first 10x day. So that was sort of like the peak that I got, and then I slid all the way down. But yeah, I mean, I looked at it and was like, okay, I think I was ranked 70, and I was like, okay, I have a feeling I'm going to get pushed into the 90s and possibly out of top 100. So that's when I started like looking at businesses to buy. But man, the market was like, I bought in at the wrong time. I ended up getting bid up on stuff, and it was just, yeah, it was lots of fun trying to purchase something that I could actually use. So I ended up getting, what did I
That's
get?
cool.
Cineplex, a Museo, and a Den, which
All
held
right.
me out. So, and I think total I probably spent about 200 crow because I did make a couple sales at the start. Like I sold an Apex and a few motors or something like that. So I had a little bit of vouchers from the beginning, so reinvested them, and yeah, probably spent about 200 vouchers, 200K vouchers total. It isn't bad. I mean, I look at it too, like I probably, if I got pushed back even further, let me just flip over and we can take a look at the leaderboard. If
Yeah,
I
I
get
was
into
looking at that right now.
let me bring it up on stream here. So I ended up at
Yeah,
91.
91. Yeah.
But yeah, so even if I got pushed to,
1.25 million
yep, yeah, 1.25.
vouchers, right? You get the reward. Yeah.
So not bad.
So even if you spend it to 100, yeah, you still got over a million vouchers. So that's really good.
Yeah, exactly. So I spent about that point, the decimal point there. So I ended up still with about a million vouchers as my prize pool plus the extra $100 whenever that gets dropped. So I think I played it okay. I mean, I honestly I might not have gotten pushed out, but I very well could have. Right, like I was pretty close to Gary's points as well, so it could have been neck and neck. Gary just got pushed out of the top 100 there. But it was pretty
Yeah.
steep
And
competition.
timing, yeah. And timing was a lot too, because like you said, you jumped in at a time where people have people that were trying to do similar strategies, or, it was a competition right there to get, it's kind of like yeah, it's kind of like what brings volume to a market, right? When there's volume, there's trading, the prices kind of go up.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and I was competing with people that were sort of, well, ended up finishing, like, I know Lioness 21. She had outbid me on a few things. Same with Haxtoen. I think Crypto Change
mhm.
did as well. There was a few other people, like Capybara. Like, they're at 65. I'm down here at 91. So they were bidding on the same businesses as me, which was sort of like, what do you guys need these ones for? Like, because I wasn't going for like anything crazy. I was trying to get something that was like
Yeah.
would keep me in like the live 100-ish rank, so I wasn't falling too fast. But no, it was some steep competition for sure.
Yeah, and like you said, I think because they're trying to get so many businesses, they bid on many knowing that they're gonna get outbid. You know, they probably
Yeah,
like I know it happened to me too with the Cool Cats. Um, Cause yeah, like you, I also had some sales. I also got an Apex too. Look at that, we got good luck. So
yeah,
I sold that Apex, and that gave me some vouchers to play with too at the end. And I think I ended up with like 3 or 4 extra Kukas than what I needed. But I was just like, because I was getting outbidded. Like you said, the market was active.
yeah. It was a pretty active market, and I mean, you look at too the point spread, right? It's near that 100. It gets pretty tight. I feel like a lot of people were just making that final push trying to get into the top 100. I'm just going to scroll through slowly so everybody could see who did make the
Noticed,
top
you're
100.
right. You're right. 121 on the when it comes to total power, yeah, like 121.12, 21.23.
Yeah, yeah, between like really the difference between like 121 and 115 where Gary's at is not much, right? Like this little concentration here was pretty tight. And then even still just outside of where Gary was, right? Like the top, like basically the top 110 are still pretty strong. Like I only had 19 million more points than 110. So there's a pretty close race here. You know, it's not like a huge margin of points for total power.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a hard fought blitz. Definitely.
Yeah.
I saw Lady Blue. Shout out to Lady Blue. I'm like, oh, there she comes. There she comes. She's been playing pretty good in the last competitions I've seen her.
Yeah,
So
she's
shout out to
usually
Lady
up there.
Blue.
She does pretty good.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and then we'll show the
We were
graphic
neighbors
here.
for a long time, huh?
What's that?
You and I were neighbors for a while, for some time. For a few days, I think.
We ended up, what was that, like side by side after the first 10x, I think. Pretty close. We were both around like the 40s, 47, somewhere in there.
Yeah, yeah. And that's when I also bought some businesses too, like trying to like catch up. You know, I'm like, I gotta try to catch up with Arwing. But then I saw that people were really coming in from the bottom, and I was like, oh, you know, like I just gotta survive the 100 now, you know. Because I did, to be honest, I actually did the last push in the last 24 hours. That's why my spending was a little lower, because I was literally like getting, like, you know, like one of my bids was like 4 hours right before the blitz finished.
Oh, really?
So I was like really buying those last minutes. Yeah, I was literally bidding those last minutes. So they were kind of like low price because there was a lot of people buying those last businesses, you know.
Yeah.
So that's when my spending came kind of low. But I was like kind of like pushing it. But as opposed to like you and other people that were coming to you, you were like with that strategy was set. You know, you picked it at the right time, and so you know, it was strategy. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it just came down to catching back up to those businesses. But it worked okay. I mean, not my priority, and I probably could have held on, like if I didn't buy anything and just sort of like tried a little bit harder on the second 10x. But I probably could have held on to a top 100 position. But I would have probably ended up losing about 100K vouchers. So I spent 200K, got an extra 100K prize, plus slept okay at night, right? Knowing, okay, I'm not at major risk here to get pushed out. So I think it was worth the little peace of mind, right? So I got
you actually read my mind.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean,
you read. No, sorry. I was just before like it was. I was just gonna say that another reason is, like you said, the peace of mind. Like buying those businesses, at least it helps you with it, because otherwise it's like not clicking. You gotta really, really, really hustle. And with that, at least you have some earners. And like you told me the other day, you know, like when I prestige my museum, and then you can go to sleep, and then you can wake up knowing that the big gold is incoming.
yeah.
So yeah, by buying those businesses, you were able to have more peace of mind, more time to yourself. At least for me, also, you know. So I know I could relate to that. Like, it helps also with the quality of life, I would say, right?
Yeah, exactly. That way you're not as stressed, and it's like, okay, I'm at least cruising, and I'm not going to be like at major risk for getting kicked out of the top 100. So it was worth the extra little bit of crow just to be able to sleep well at night that night. Otherwise, I would have been up all night trying to grind and get into a good rank, right? So this was just a little bit more easy on my system, at least.
Yeah, and I mean, you have the winnings from prior competitions too, you know, so it's not, I mean, it's, you could treat yourself to those things here and there, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, $15, I think it rounded out to $15 investment for $100 pack. It's worth it.
Yes, sir. And better quality of life for a few, you know, get some better hours, better sleep, better all that.
Exactly. Right on. So I guess the last little thing here, we'll do the quick shout out. So thank you to Queen Cindy for always putting together these leaderboard graphics. They're pretty awesome. So for the Wolfies,
shout out to Queen Cindy.
Yeah, so I got her up on here. So we've got FFTB Hacker. Congratulations on taking rank 1 again. And then Golden Tree coming in at 2nd and Meta coming in at 3rd. Of course, we had the Void take the competition. I believe the top 4 players were Void. So we also got rank 4 Darklos, 5 Lightman. He's always a good Legion player for us. And then we got number 6 is Raz Al Ghul. Shout out to Flip there. Number 7 is Treyes. Then 8, Mr. Kookie. 9, Stroman. And 10, DP DeBoss Zeus 2. So there we go. I like Stroman's. He's got a pretty nice Wolfie there. Same with Darklos with the dragon. I like the little dragon pet. That's kind of cute.
They look pretty cool. Yeah, shout out to the top 10. Some pretty heavy hitters right there. Pretty good names, no names up there. Shout out to all the top 10.
Yeah. And would we end up? Oh, by 9 billion total power is what Legion lost from there. I mean, we're the underdogs at this point. You know, basically, if Meta and FTB Hacker, if they go void, I mean, there's nothing really that we could do about it. That's a lot of points there. So yeah, you guys having the top 4 ranks, that definitely solidified your victory there.
Yeah, I feel like for the Blitz, it's usually the void, but for the major competitions like the mid-season or the final season, is the Legion that takes it.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes, because I know Meta will switch up and join Legion for the big competitions sometimes. I mean, we're also missing Kimbo, like D Kimbo. He hasn't been playing, or I don't think he's going to be playing, and maybe until the World Series. Though, you know, we might see him come back for once the expeditions and everything's released. I think he was sort of excited for that. Just, I think like a lot of us, we're getting sort of burnt out and sort of at the point of like, can it just hurry up and get here so we can play it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, shout out to Kimbo. He is missed in the Discord. He does. He's usually one of the top Legions, so he brings a lot of points to the Legion.
Yes,
and I agree. I think he'll probably be back. Hopefully, if they release the. I know for the big competitions, he probably will be back. But for after a big update, like you said, I think all of us, our main city, are really expecting that.
Yeah. I think
really excited.
We're all sort of at the point where it's like, okay, the competitions are fun, but we're at the point of almost burnout where it's like we need something new. So hopefully, with what we're going to talk about in the dev diaries and stuff, that's the I guess reignition of the passion in the community. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yes.
All right. So I think that's about all we got for Wolfies Blitz. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
I think with the Wolfies Blitz, I think it's I think it was interesting. I guess the last thing it is interesting that they introduced the token, a new token as a prize. So that means now there's a precedent for partnerships to be able to put in their own prize pools. So that's more attractive also.
Yeah.
It worked out for this competition, right?
Yeah, it's interesting because that's not something I had really thought of. So I wonder if there's going to be some relation, or if it's, if we're able to start buying vouchers using different tokens. That's what I'd always been speculating, that 20% buy-in conversion is really attributed to, so that they could go and take a partner's token and then just buy the crow to back the vouchers, and that 20% would give them that margin to be able to still have a little bit of profit off the sale of vouchers, but also like let other communities come in. So maybe that's something that they're entertaining in the future. Obviously with just, I think, desktop only being that, which I guess we got to start specifying, right? Desktop versus mobile soon.
Yeah, we definitely got to see what the differences are. But yeah, it would be interesting to see, because there's also, let's see, like Brave have their own token. So we'll see if they do like a Brave Blitz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and same with the monks, right? Monks got nuts.
Nuts, a nut splits or a monk splits.
Yeah, Synthtopia is going to have a token eventually, right? They're I don't know when they're releasing Biosynth, but that's their token that they have on planned to be launched, which is like what some of the if you look at their NFTs, they all have like rarities based on like what they call like singularities, and those singularities are what are going to I guess provide you with an airdrop, right? So if you got like a rarer singularity, then you're going to get more from the airdrop than somebody with like one of the common ones. So
Oh, interesting. Okay.
yeah, I don't know when that's happening. I mean, I thought it was supposed to happen last year around this time, but it seems like I think they got another drop coming out soon too. But yeah,
Yeah, we know crypto and crypto timing is wild.
yeah. Well, and that's it. And if people are waiting for the bull market to come again, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, we're not waiting too long, but hopefully, nobody's waiting on releasing a game specifically in the bull market. Now's the time. They always say building the bear, right? That's when a good project's
Yes.
made, building the bear.
Yes. When there's more quiet, there's not a lot of noise. People can actually fine tune things and take time instead of rushing to please the moment.
Exactly. So right on. I think we can wrap up the Wolfies there, the Wolfies Blitz. I think we're both happy we made it into the top 100. That was our soft goal.
Yeah.
We have, as I guess some might say, similar strategies. That's why we're close on the leaderboard. But I think we both took it at different strides, right? Like you played right from the start, whereas I did my sort of wait for the first 10x, and that's what I'm playing as, just to try to accumulate as many points as possible. So I think we both had like slightly different takes on how to climb the leaderboard, but we still ended up around the same spot. So it's good to see. We've got at least a similar mindset and strategy to achieve our goals.
Yes, and I would say to maybe like new players that are listening, just keep in mind the amount of clicks that you spend in one business. Just keep in mind the order of the business that you prestige. Which one do you which one you want to pick as your leader, as your first business to bring up, depending on what setup you have. So yeah, I would say that's what I would say as the strategies, like the points and all that. But I would say just try to take care of that goal. I know when I was a new player, I was that's one of the things that it would skip my mind a lot. Just trying to click here and there, and or just trying to make as much gold as I could just by clicking. But it's just clicking at the right time at the right business and all that. So
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, I'm waiting for the next blitz.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? And I imagine like they'll probably have another blitz coming up in like a couple of weeks, I would think. Maybe right at the end of this month leading into the expedition stuff is what I'm hoping for. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what they end up doing. But I guess with that,
What would you
yep.
What would you say to new players that are listening? Just anything that you might be a mistake for, or like a rookie mistake.
Honestly, I think the biggest thing is like a lot of people come in and they see that there is a very much active pay to win structure in this, right? Like where you can come in and you can buy stuff. I think if this is your first blitz and you're coming in, don't bother buying anything. Just play to your own strength, just to learn how everything's working. Look at the market. I mean, maybe if you're able to make some sales early, then maybe you have a little bit of vouchers to play with. But I think the big thing would be don't like come in and to buy a 200,000 voucher business thinking it's going to carry you, right? Because you see other players doing that. Because there's a big difference between being able to come in and just like do this, purchase this business and this business, and you're going to get carried right up the leaderboard. But you also need like the NFTs and the understanding of how the game works to really be able to make that type of thing work. And that's where I'm saying, like, if it's your first or second blitz, try playing with what you get from NFT from your blueprints, right? And play with the NFTs you got. And just try to continue to learn the game, especially as we work our way to the final, World Series for season 3. I think that's, my biggest tip is just continue trying to learn the game, save your vouchers for a bigger competition, and, talk to bigger players too, right? People like Meta or FFTB Hacker, if you get them in the Discord, you can ask them some questions. Maybe they'll share some nuggets, little gold nuggets with you and get you to understand the game a little bit better.
That's great advice. That's great advice. You're absolutely right. There's nothing like learning and just playing organic, and then after you get the game organically, then you can start adding boosters and stuff. I mean, by booster, I mean buying businesses.
Yeah,
But yeah,
because
that's
I mean the big thing
yeah,
is like the way I see it in my mind, like the last thing you want to do is like have players come in and they spend so much money and they don't get anywhere on the leaderboard, right? And they just because they bought these big businesses and they
That's what
didn't
I'm
really
like.
understand how to like push into and grow into that business properly, and then they end up being like, oh
Yes,
man, I bought this business for like 500K vouchers thinking it was going to carry me up to live rank 3, right? And it's like, yeah, but you bought that, now you need
you still
everything to
gotta.
support
Yeah.
it still. So
Yeah, you still gotta put spear furniture down. You still have to bring your level up. You still have to. It's not just placing, going up the leaderboard. It's not how it works.
no, exactly. And that's where if they're playing it a little bit more organically, they'll slowly learn that stuff themselves, right? And then that's when it's like, I understand the prestige requirements that need to be met and how all this works. At least you're familiar with it. Then, when it comes to purchasing a business, you can actually like put it to work a little bit better than what you would if you're a brand new player just trying that strategy.
Yeah, that's great. That's great, Hardwick. Thank you for that.
Right on. No worries. So I think that ends our Wolfie Blitz talk. I think
Yep.
then next up is a little bit about the dev diary that was released. But I think before we get into discussing specifically the dev diary, we got to talk about, I think, what precipitated the dev diary from being released when it was, which was their X space that they held. Let me just switch over. And I believe it was with Medieval. Is that what they're called? Medieval
I
Empires.
think so.
So
Yeah, we do want to.
honestly, I'd never heard of these people before until this space was announced. So that was interesting. But yeah, they had a little like at the start. It was just sort of like an overview of some Web3 gaming things that are going on. So if you're interested in the broader Web3 gaming era, or they call it the new era of gaming. You can listen to the first, I think, like 15 minutes is talking, reviewing, going over some of the most recent news about different projects. And then probably about the 20-minute mark is sort of when Loaded Lions come in and start talking. But yeah, they go over a little bit of alpha when it comes to the new mobile app that's coming out, which ended up causing a lot of stir within the community. But yeah, it's good. I'll link it down below if you're interested in going and listening. It's about almost a 2-hour recorded space with, I think, almost probably 30 minutes at the end where they allowed people to come up and ask some questions. So shout out to Sunshine and Rainbows and Papa Bigfoot for also taking the stage and asking a few questions to the developers. I did also hop up and tried to like summarize the questions that were being thrown around in the Discord and ask them to the developer there, which is Darkness, and Nyx also came up. So we had a good little chat. I think, we got a little bit extra information out of them, and with them seeing how much concern there was within the community, I think that's also what pushed this developer diary to come out when it did. So I mean, you've had a chance to listen to it, right? So what did you think of the initial information when they sort of just dropped it like, oh, it's going to be a clean slate for everybody?
Yeah, at first I was like, because I wasn't able to listen to it, but I was in the Discord, and I just kept like seeing the comments like, oh, they're gonna wipe us, they're gonna reset the game. That was the word. Reset is the R word. They were using the R word.
Yeah, that
They was like,
hard
no, they're
R
gonna
word,
reset the game. The
reset.
R word. Yeah. Real, and so I was like, I gotta listen to it. And yeah, if you haven't listened to it, yeah, like the first 20 to half an hour is just about other things. And then Darkness came on. And they were just casually talking about the game because it seems like the guy that was hosting, he's the one that was getting introduced to the game. And they were getting into, so part of the introduction is when they were talking about the mobile. And he was saying, the guy I was hosting, he was talking about the leaderboard, and he's like, well, if I come in, I see these people that already they're up there in the leaderboard. They already have a lot of cash. If I come in on the mobile, am I gonna be able to get on the leaderboard? And he's like, and the guy was like, yeah, and it's gonna start fresh. The leaderboard is gonna start fresh. And it was like really broad in the comment, and so they just kept talking about, oh yeah, and okay, so yeah, I'll be able to get on the leaderboard, blah blah blah. And so that's when the people in the Discord, that's when I put it together that they were saying, oh okay, so that's when they were saying that they were gonna reset the game, and then even while they were the space was going on, it seemed like they were reading the plaza too, because they're like, whoa, guys, let's just clarify that we're not gonna reset the PC game. Only the mobile is gonna be a new version, like a new leaderboard.
Yeah.
So they had to clarify it because that's yeah, it was the big R word that, like you said, all the everything that we've been grinding for years to get the quality of our businesses. And people were talking about that, like if it's a reset, what's gonna happen to the quality of my businesses and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like all that work that we had put into building up our cities, right? And I know even like FFTB Hacker and a few of the other big players too come out and they're just like, well, there's no point in grinding. Like at this point, it's like, what are you guys doing, right? If you're going to reset everything. But I think, once the dust had settled and we got a little bit better of insight through these developer diaries as well as to what they're doing, I think it makes some sense to me. I think one of the bigger disappointments amongst the community is the lack now of a true mobile app that will allow us to compete and manage our cities, right? So now it's going back to the old case of like, if I have to go to work and I can't be on my computer, but I'm at least able to access my phone a bit more frequently. That was where a lot of people were looking forward to being able to like access main cities, still progress in the competitions while they are, at other in real life commitments, right? So now that it's going to be separate versions and the app is no longer, I guess, tied to what we're currently playing right now, I think that's where a lot of people hit disappointment of like, well, I was promised a mobile app to be able to continue playing main city while I'm on the go, and now I don't have that. It's something different that's coming out. So I get that aspect of a lot of people's disappointment. So, but
Yeah, that's so true. And even Lady Blue also was on a space. Shout out to Mr. Loco. He created a space, and it's especially kind of like right away. And I jumped on right away too. I hadn't really spoken on many spaces, but on that one, I felt like it was. I had expressed how I feel, especially I'm really positive about the game, and I was also able to listen to I think El Rey was on that space too, and I was also able to listen to their perspective. But yeah, Lady Blue was saying that was one of the main reasons that she was so excited about the game. That she's out and about a lot of times when she's at work, and so she would be able to be a better competitor with the mobile app. So it was I could relate to those disappointments when I could hear it that way.
yeah, I know. Then that was sort of my aspect too of just like, I was anticipating it to be the mobile version of what we're currently playing, and with it not being that, now it's sort of like, okay, well, what is it going to be, right? And we'll get into talking a little bit about that when we get into the mobile speculation. But I guess overall it was also there was the two factors of disappointment of like, if we're putting all this work into desktop, but everybody's going to be playing on mobile, what incentive do they have to come back to desktop? So like, where does all this, like myself, El Rey, lots of players have been, stocking up on different businesses, with the anticipation of like, okay, we're going to get people coming in on mobile that are like, hey, I'm willing to, spend a couple $100, grab a couple good businesses and push myself up the leaderboard, right? And we'd have some businesses to sell them. Now there's not really that incentive because mobile is going to be something different. And they're going to still have to either have a PC which I think Woodrow brought up on his space where he was discussing some of the technical difficulties that some of his friends have, right? As to why they're waiting for mobile. But I mean, that doesn't really, I guess the one thing I would say in regards to that is a lot of the new players, if they want, can come in and play on their phone because they can do the email sign in. Whereas a lot of us veteran players, we're stuck with signing in with a DeFi wallet, so we can't play on mobile. We have to have a desktop with an extension that works to be able to sign in. But new players can just go on their on their mobile browser, switch it to desktop mode, and just receive the email code to sign in, right? So they can play full mobile on for both versions, right? It's just like me, yourself, and a lot of the other players that are still around from the early days are stuck signing in with a DeFi wallet, right? And we can't sign in using a DeFi wallet on a mobile device yet. So that's the limitations for us. Maybe they're planning on doing something either through the on-chain wallet or, making it so that they're actually able to push sign-in requests to a wallet manager on a mobile device. But as of right now, that is not a possibility. So
that's a great point. That's a very good point because so in other words, if you signed in after email and if you use that ability, then you're able to pretty much already have mobile, right? Because you could do your competition and all your clicking and everything through the desktop mode in the phone. So it would be interesting if they were able to create an @mane.city.com or @mane.city, and they're able to give us let's say for me, right, like DJ _Orakle @mane.city. And if they were able to link our wallets right now to that email that they would create, and then that would give us veterans access to log in the same way. Instead of using the extension, we could just put that email that would be created and log in that way. That would be a workaround to actually have mobile, keep mobile as it is, right?
Yeah, they also...
What do you think about that one?
Do you remember back when you first started playing, they asked you for an email and you got like an email sign-in bonus or something? Because I remember putting my email in like back at the start and you got like a 500K diamond bonus or something like that to by putting in your email. And it was more for like their newsletter and whatnot subscription list, right? So that was what it was more akin to. But it would have been nice if that was also a step towards allowing email login for people, right? Like I can link an email to my wallet just for Main City and be able to get an email login, right? Sort of like a two-factor authentication code instead of having to do the whole, sign in through. It's just sort of like a permission, and you get the email code to allow permission for your wallet to, authorize a sign-in.
Yeah, that would be a great workaround for us to have, for everybody to be able to log in mobile.
Yeah, well, we'll see what they do. But I mean, overall,
we should put it in the feedback. See how these good things come from this podcast.
Yeah,
good ideas.
Good ideas sometimes come out.
Right? Yeah, we should probably put it in the feedback if they can give people that have a wallet, if they can give us some sort of, if they can link our email and give us access to there, that'll give us partial mobile.
Yeah, give us something at least. But yeah, so I mean, overall, right, like that's sort of what we got from that space. I mean, they didn't really talk too much else about it. So at least we were able to ask a few questions, right? So we did reassure that the NFTs we have in game now will also be the same NFTs used for the mobile version. But other than that, I mean, we don't really have much details when it comes to what is going to happen on mobile. Other than they said it's going to be faster with more pace put towards progress and stuff like that. So, I mean, we'll get into speculating about that in a moment, but I will switch over and we can take a look at the actual dev diary. So once they had finished up with this X space, obviously in the Discord, they had seen quite a bit of concern. So, and I know a lot of people had voiced concern and requested more information, including, I know I brought up the dev diaries. So I'm glad that they did bring out Main City Dev Diary number 2. And they've got some pretty good content in here. Nothing that's like significantly specific and providing a lot of information in regards to mobile. But at least it does talk over reasons behind why they're not able to do what we had originally anticipated. So we can quickly read over this. So next month, we've got the expedition systems coming. Hopefully this is early next month rather than late next month. But regardless, next month.
Yeah, good observation. It's main city time, right?
Yeah. Well, hey, it's just like World Series 2. It starts in January 31st.
Right.
Like, right at the end. Hey, it's still part of the month. It's all good.
Yeah, they're gonna put the expedition the last day of May, huh?
Yeah. Well, whatever. It is what it is. At least we'll
This
have
month,
it.
yeah.
We'll have it before June. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so they do the power to the part or of the party. So we're going to have parties that can form up to 4 players. So this will be cool to see how this works out. So land is a destination, right? So there's going to be new expeditions every single day that manifest across the map. So there's going to be different monsters based on terrain, different resources hidden in the soil, and the size is also here. They say that it's going to dictate how dangerous, how profitable the journey will be. So this is cool. This is the first actual relation to these 3 traits that we've even really got to glimpse and start to speculate off of, right? So it's still not very detailed.
The main reason that people, when we buy lands, is like the speculation of which one should we get. Do we need more monsters? Do we need bigger size? Do we need resources? So it's cool that they're putting little infos here and there, none these nuggets here.
Yeah, exactly. And the way I'm seeing it still is, the monsters and the size dictate the danger, and obviously the resources is the prize we're all after. So
Yeah,
that's why I always buy the resource. I always buy resources over the other 2.
Yeah, and I'm a monster guy. I always get the monsters looking in the shadows. Maybe it comes from being part of the void. I don't know.
Could be. You're just trying to find some friends.
Yeah, the dark side.
The dark ones. Yeah. And then they do talk a little bit about the NFTs that are going to be used. So it sounds like, our armor, our tools, and our weapons are going to be used as part of our arsenal when we're actually out there monster fighting or whatever. And of course, the backpacks are going to be part of that. So, I was honestly sort of anticipating some sort of new weapons, new armor, because I guess we have the bandit sidearm, but a smoke grenade launcher is not going to do much against a monster, other than give you cover to run away, right? And we only have 1 piece of armor, really. I guess there's the mask and the actual armor, right? Both the
Wait, what if it's a monster bee? Bee gets calmed by smoke. Right? You can calm the bees down with smoke.
There you go. Yeah, smoke them out, steal all their honey.
Or maybe you could smoke them out. Maybe you don't know what kind of smoke is. You don't know what you're burning to
Yeah.
smoke. Maybe you got some good herbs in there in that smoke bomb. Then you can work something out. Huh?
Could be we're shooting fentanyl smoke into the middle of the crowds or something.
There you go.
Yeah, completely incapacitate them. So
Yeah, right. But then it also says the precision of your tools. So I wonder if now the not the essences, but what are they called? The different
they got the elements on them, right? So that's where
So I wonder the elements, right?
Yeah. I mean, we got a compass, right? So we've got the compass, and they each have their own color relating to each of the regions. So maybe you need to have the proper compass when you're out searching on the lands, right? But
Yeah.
I'm assuming too, right? So, I would think that we're all going to accumulate, right? So for me and yourself, right, we've got a lot of the elements covered and all of the NFTs, right? So we're fairly well equipped for wherever we want to go explore. So hopefully with that, we're like, we can bring in some of the newer players that don't have a lot of equipment and whatever. And it's just like a shared pool of resources. So, as long as you cover the bases that need to be covered, right? And then we just all sort of like pool our resource and go out and explore, right?
Yeah, yeah, that would be good. Putting some power together, and yeah, giving a chance to the players that are not so NFT invested to be able to also participate and not be left out just because they don't have that many NFTs.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Yeah.
I guess speaking of NFTs, obviously the last one is the land. And when we read about this the first time, I thought it was really cool. So, the party members are going to split the spoils for their bravery, but landowners will also claim part of the reward as a direct share. So you don't even, it sounds like, need to participate in whatever missions are going on your land. So, if it's like one of these, like for let's say up here, every day new expeditions will manifest across the map. So I'm envisioning like the map that we have right now. So if we go and take a look at the world map, there might be like 10 different little nodes all across each of the different regions, right? So it might be like 3 on the Block Nexus, 2 on Sapphire Sanctum, a couple in the Aurora Wilds, 3 in the Crimson Reaches. And you just sort of like click on the map, bring it up, and you get to choose which one you would go and do. And they all have different difficulties. And it's actually somebody else's land, right? So you're not even exploring your own lands. It's just random, and it's going to be somebody else's land. And then they're going to get paid out some of your reward for being the landowner. So I think that's kind of cool. It makes it
Yeah,
so.
that sounds really cool.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're not playing super heavily, at least you're still gaining some stuff from your lands.
Yes, and I hardly ever use the world map, and now you mentioned it, and I clicked on it, and it's so cool to see the whole regions, all 7 regions, because it kind of like sparks, like you said, the imagination. Because now I could see how you were saying about the nodes, right? Like you can click on here, and also because one of the updates, it says that you'll be able to see your land numbers, so that you can know which lands are like the best lands that you want to use. So we'll probably go to the world map, like you said, go to the Crimson Reaches and then be able to see the land numbers to see what's the best land to kind of like explore, kind of thing, huh?
Yeah, I think something along those lines is what they're kind of aiming at. I know if you are on the world map, you can see, like, click the little arrow to drop down. You'll see what number each one is. So they do show.
Oh, okay, that's true.
But other
Oh,
than,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I guess on the other list, like when you click in, they're going to have on that arrow beside the land, right? You'll be able to see the number beside it too. Because right now it doesn't show. You have to go to that other list to be able to see.
Oh, okay.
But okay.
Oh, yeah, because they said we're gonna bring back the numbers. So yeah, that's where they used to be, right?
Yeah, and that's part of the quality of life enhancements that they were talking about. So there's booster efficiency. They're going to make it reduce the amount of clicks to apply a booster. Not exactly sure how that's going to work, but we'll see. Then there's the multiplier transparency. So this is a big request that I know a lot of people have been asking for. So during the competitive events, there's going to be the multiplier displayed now clearly. So I wonder if they're going to go with like a calendar or what they're planning on doing, or if it's just going to be up in the top corner. Hey, it's a 2x day. Hey, it's a 10x day, whatever, right? So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what they do for that. But that is, I know, a big ask that the community's had. And then, of course, like the one we were just talking about, the land ID visibility. So this is bringing the IDs to the interface to make it easier. I mean, they're saying for allowing for more efficient organization and management of your holdings. I mean, I kind of hope we're able to start swapping around lands, choose which one you want first. That would be cool.
That would be so awesome. Yeah, it's something that we've been asking for forever. People have been trying to switch, sending lands from one wallet to another to try to change the order of the lands. So if it says efficiently organization and management of your holdings, it would be super awesome if we're finally able to choose which land we want as our first land. so that we don't have to suffer from the diminishing returns of better lands not being the first one, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm hoping that at least then I could swap out and put like a epic or a legendary instead of my mythical, because I can't take advantage of the Savannah Bandit, right? So I only have one land that I can do that with. But
Yeah.
and then they
Yeah,
got
maybe you want
yep, yeah,
to
sorry.
use, at one point, you want to use some obstacles. Maybe at another point, you don't want any obstacles, depending on what strategy you're using.
Yeah, exactly.
Be,
I mean, on my
yeah.
climb up, right? Like when we talk about blitzes, doing that ramp up to, a really good live power on that 10x day, it'd be nice to be able to also hit some Savannah Bandits, just get that extra little bit of a bonus, right? But as of right now, I
Yeah.
don't even bother using it because I only have one land that it could possibly apply to, and it usually doesn't. So it's just a waste of diamonds.
Yeah. Yeah. So see, that's the perfect example of rearranging the assets, like they say, that it would be for strategy purposes. So that would be a great update if we're able to do that.
Yes, I agree. Which it doesn't make sense that we can't choose the land that we want as our primary. Right? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
I guess it's easy, probably easier coding for them, just rarest first, right? But then sort of like, well, then what? When they're the same rarity, what dictates where they stay? So, all
Or
right,
like you said, even if it's not as rare, but I could still take advantage of the obstacles, because that's pretty much what the rarity comes down to, right? Like the amount of obstacles, the rarer the land, the less obstacles to eventually no obstacles, right?
yep, yeah, that's basically it. And the diamond generation that each one does.
Oh, there you go. I hadn't keep that in mind. That's so true. The diamond generation. Well, hopefully the arrangement of the land wouldn't affect
It shouldn't.
the diamond generation.
I
Shouldn't,
would,
right? I mean, that should be.
yeah, I would think
Yeah.
it would stay the same. Okay, and then the last point that they brought up here is obviously the main city mobile, which is sort of what we're going to get into discussing next, anyhow. So I'll read through some of this, not in its entirety, but so the mobile vision, they're bridging two worlds. So this is the final stage, and they've basically brought out saying that they want to bring main city to the masses, and to achieve this, they do need to be able to launch on both Google Play and the Apple App Store, right? Now, because these platforms have strict regulation regarding Web3 integration, they've decided that the mobile launch has to be its standalone game. This is basically just to ensure full compliance and maximum reach, which we'll get into talking about maybe some of our thoughts on that in a moment here. So what does this mean for Main City Mobile? It's going to be casual and fast-paced. So the mobile version is going to be more of a Web 2 friendly version, where it's going to be faster, more intuitive, and designed to hook players into the Main City universe. It's going to be a funnel to the desktop. So this sort of eases people's concerns of like, nobody's going to come and play desktop, if they're on mobile. But it sounds like mobile serves as more of an entry point, and these players will eventually come to desktop as
Where the real
competitors.
competition happens.
Exactly. So that's where the real comps are going to happen. So to me, it sounds like there's limitations, with them saying this is where the real competition happens. It doesn't sound like there's going to be very large prize pools, I guess, to say the least, when it comes to playing on mobile. There might be some decent prize pools, but it sounds like there's probably going to be some limitations with that as one of the metrics for Web3 integration that they're talking about being difficult. There's also going to be some boost in NFT demand. So the new players is basically going to be looking to purchase some of the NFTs, right? Like you see up here, they talk about all the different NFTs. The armor, the tools, the weapons, the backpacks, and the lands are all going to be also used in Main City Mobile. So that's where, they're going to have utility across both games. To me, that's pretty exciting because now we have a second game that lands can help boost. And then we've got protecting.
Definitely.
Sorry?
No, I was like, definitely a great point. I'm so glad that they put that in there, because it keeps the value of
Yeah.
alternatives.
Yeah, and that's one of the
NFTs, but
questions I had asked them on the space too, right? Because I was like, are we using the same NFTs? Like you're saying there's issues with Web3 integration, but we're using NFTs. But I have an idea as to what they mean and why NFTs are okay and some of the other stuff isn't. And we'll talk about that coming up soon. Also, then there's the protection of veterans. So our efforts are remaining the cornerstone of Main City. So existing NFTs will not only be essential, but they also provide unique advantages for the mobile experience. So they're saying essential for desktop, and they're providing unique advantages for mobile. So we'll have to wait and see what that means. Maybe we don't even really have to have lands on mobile, right? But owning them give you more advantages, and probably, well, one being if you're owning the land opposed to, exploring somebody else's land, then you're going to be getting the benefits as the landowner as well, right?
Yeah, that's the landowner. I like that term.
Exactly. The landlord. The lord of the
Yes, sir.
lands. So yeah, they're
Yeah.
thrilled to be building a dual experience platform for both casual and pro players. So entry point is mobile, and then the dedicated competitive events on the platform. It does sound like they are planning some, but they want to make sure Main City remains the ultimate arena for strategy, no matter where you're playing. So it does sound like they will have competitions on mobile, just not maybe as significant of a prize pool or as competitive as the desktop version. So they aren't just launching an app, they're opening the gates to a massive new audience that will hopefully fuel the economy and competition of the desktop world. So we'll have to wait and see how that all pans out, how they connect together. But, it is somewhat disappointing, I think, when it comes to, people expecting, like we were mentioning earlier, just a full port from desktop to mobile. And that's no longer the case.
Yeah, so it definitely shatters an idea that a lot of us had, that would just be able to log in and pretty much it's the same game, just different ways of playing it. But we were thinking that you were literally just linking, you log into the mobile app, and it'll be like looking at your desktop, and it'll be the same ranks and everything. So it definitely, it's definitely shattered that idea.
Yeah. No,
But
it
it does
is.
provide provides new visions. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess to knock it off first here, when it comes to discussing some of the strict regulations regarding Web3 integration, right? Like when I think about it, right, like NFTs are sort of like buying a skin or buying a character, and because they can be traded on a different exchange, I don't think there's really any concern when it comes from Apple or Android. I think the big thing, right, because like I know with apps, a lot of time, like I think with Apple, any in-app purchases, the App Store gets like 30% of it, right? So with like cosmetics and stuff like skins in games, say it's like $10, Apple gets 3 of that $10, right? So that's probably pretty easy to set up as an agreement with Main City and the app stores, right? I think the Web3 integration that they're discussing, that is not easy to bring into a game due to these regulations, is the very familiar market that we have. The assets, right? All the businesses and stuff being sold in the in-game market. I don't think that's allowed. And I think that's what's causing them having to build a different game, right? Something without this type of market. That's what my thoughts are, right? Because that's what makes the most sense to me, because the developer takes 15% of the sale as sort of like a royalty or a market maker fee or whatever you want to call it. So they don't want to have to, like, if they put that onto mobile, I think there's too much legal constraints and regulations that limit what they can do and how they can execute it. And it would probably come into like, well, because there's actual sales and markets and monies and stuff like that, it becomes this age gated, and now it's not open to like anybody to come and play it, right? So I think that's sort of what they're talking about by wanting to reach the most people possible. They need to keep the game's rating out of 18 plus, right? Due to Web3 and money and stuff like that being involved. And they also need to make sure that any sort of market activities, they have a way to be able to provide the proper funds to the appropriate app store, right? So there's those dual functions of like them not being able to bring in the full Web3 integration that we have on desktop.
Yeah, and also I was also thinking about how the prices of the mobile. I'm thinking to kind of like stay within those regulations. I was thinking that the competitions for mobile would gain in-game rewards, whether they want to call them vouchers or they want to call it like another sort of credits. And then you combine in-game assets with those credits, so it's not there. You wouldn't really be actually putting in your own money. You'll be getting these credits from the competitions.
Yeah.
And if you want actual monies, like you said, then you can always jump in the PC version and actually get that. But at least they'll get you already kind of like into the rewards by competition in the game, doing it on mobile. So I like when they say that on here, that it's kind of like a way to funnel from the mobile to the PC. So I'm thinking that that's kind of like that might be one of the ways that they want to do it, staying within the regulation, avoiding any in-game transactions by asking people for their credit cards and stuff like that, and avoiding those fees by just rewarding competitions with in-game credits that you can kind of like spend around.
Yeah, because what is it like? Trying to remember, like some of the games, like the is it like V-Bucks or there's some like an in-game currency, right? Like I don't play very many mobile games, so this will be the first one really that I probably get into. But I know a lot of times they have like gem packages or whatever, right? So you buy
or Roblox, right?
Roblox, right? You buy $50 worth of like their in-game currency, right, through the app store, and then it gets attributed to your account. So that's probably the route that they're going to have to go, and then maybe as part of the competition, that's going to be what can be awarded, right? So it's these in-game currencies, whatever. Maybe they call them vouchers, right, like what we're used to, or maybe they attribute them to diamonds, right? Because we don't have lands maybe playing as important of a role in the mobile game, so now it's diamonds, because diamonds are pretty important when it comes to the overall main city game, or at least the universe they're developing, right? So
yeah, so I'm definitely happy about these diaries. I'm really happy with all the information that they gave us. I'm really happy with landowners will reclaim their importance. I like that. I definitely like that.
yeah,
That
because
statement right
lands
there.
are so cheap right now.
I mean, it was supposed to be like one of the main assets of the whole Loaded Lion ecosystem, right? Like we're supposed to use those lands in other games as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so I
so
don't, and that's what a
we'll,
lot of
we'll
people
see
are
what.
saying they're worried about, right? They're like, oh, are they going to claim this is the new game that they brought out instead of like actually developing another new game? So I know there's some people saying that that's a worry as well, which I think is a legitimate concern, but I hope that that's not the funny numbers that they want to play. I hope they actually do have another game under development. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I'm excited to see what this mobile app is actually going to be, and how it's going to be a gateway into the universe.
Yes, and I just noticed that if we scroll down, we can see the comments of the community about the article. So Oracle, it's right there. Love the update. Thank you very much. Again, I'm pretty positive, so that's me. But I guess we can kind of see, Bitman. Thanks for the update. Papa Bigfoot's always also pretty positive. Hunt for dominance begins, and then we get some of the frustrations, I guess. Uh, no, I mean not just frustrations, just overall opinions. So it's not. I just noticed that all the comments from the article is there. So if you haven't read the article, definitely check it out.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a read
Yeah.
through. I mean, it's not like super specific with details and like this is coming out here and this is this and blah blah blah. But I mean, with them saying at least next month we can expect the expeditions, I think, you know, hopefully within the next couple weeks we're going to start seeing some sort of trailers or information, or maybe they bring out those expedition logs again. I always love watching those, but just something to start getting us hyped up for it, right? So yeah, hopefully that's starting soon.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I love those expedition logs too. So hopefully they will bring those back. We should probably go to again, guys. If you're not in the Discord, go to the Discord, and any feedback, go to the feedback because they do read those. And I'm definitely gonna put in the feedback right now about the expedition diaries to bring some back. So yeah, pretty exciting. We
Yeah.
appreciate these diaries.
Yeah, no, I enjoy reading them as well. So I think with that, we can check off the dev diary update section and we can sort of get into speculation. So I guess with that, I know after the dev diaries came out, Woodrow had hosted a space just to sort of discuss some of the concerns and stuff that he's seeing. I mean, a lot of people, I think the big concern still being the promise of Main City Mobile being, at least in our mind, and I don't know if they ever said it explicitly, but, you know, a lot of us anticipated it being the same game from desktop to mobile. So with them coming out and bringing out a new game, I think that's what a lot of frustration in the community, is coming from, right? That's where a lot of the frustration comes from. I know.
Yeah, shout out to Woodrow for that space. Just because I agree with you, it was one side of the community's opinion, right? And it definitely needs to be heard.
Yeah, no, it was definitely good. I had listened to it as well. So if you are interested in hearing, because he's a pretty well-known free-to-play player, like he's been grinding in the game forever, you know. And I thought it was funny his one comment about like another reason why he's sad, because he's like, you know, I was waiting for all my friends to come in that, you know, don't have access to a computer, but they have their phones, so they were waiting for mobile to release to be able to come in and play. And then they were going to see me up there. You know, I think he's like in the 500s or something, you know, up there high on the leaderboard. And I'd look, you know, like a badass. I was like, well, I mean, that's serious concern, right? Because now this, unless they put into Main City Mobile a way to see the desktop leaderboard as well, you know, a lot of us players, you know, I mean, I doubt I'm going to be as high on the leaderboard on Main City Mobile as I am on Main City Desktop, right? So a lot of people will just see it, and, you know I put a lot of work into grinding up the leaderboard, right? Trying to climb as high as possible. You know, one part being, I think it adds legitimacy to the stuff that I discuss on YouTube, right? Like if they came in and they saw, oh, this guy's ranked 500, right? It's like, is it really
Trying to tell me what to do?
Yeah, exactly. I'm farther in rank than you are. Why would I listen to you? Whereas, you know, at least they come in and they see he's like, oh, he's top 50. Okay, at least he's you know, doing something.
Let me see how he got there.
Yeah, so, you know, at least it lend some credence to the information and advice that you give, right? So I can see his perspective too of like, you know, you've been grinding for so long and you're waiting for, you know, your friends to come in and be like, damn, how did you get so high, right? Like, well, I've been working on it for a while, right? This is, you know, it's been a grind. It's not like just a, you know, start up and you're top rank right away, right? But, you know, even coming from that space, I get that people are excited too, for a fresh, clean leaderboard, right? Because like you come in and you see FFTB Hacker, right? And he's like Division 3, and you're just looking at it like, I'm just starting, right? And like, I got to get through Division 1, Division 2, and then I maybe can catch up. And it's just like, it just seems like a daunting, impossible task. So I can see why people are, you know, new coming into Main City, haven't played before, are excited for a fresh mobile leaderboard. And then that way they can be like, I can grind. I can actually feel like, you know, if I get into rank 20, I can maybe hold on to it, right? And I just got to play and try hard, you know. But
yeah, and shout out to Woodrow too, because he is the voice of the free to play He always gives the feedback from the free to play. He's got his NFTs from the competitions. Um, so yeah, shout out for that space, and especially because that voice. We always say up how what's it like to actually be free to play, right? And so he actually has a perspective,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
yeah, uh-huh. And also with the leaderboard too. Like I remember like texting to you, like I was like, in one of these points, and as I was typing it, I was like, you know what, like. It is an accomplishment, like being up there. Like at least for me, I'm 76 right now, and being in the top 100s. So for him being where he's at, for everybody, the grind that we've been putting in. So then I understood, as I was typing it, like I was like, yeah, the grind that we have been putting. Um, so I really liked what you said. If the mobile version has like even like a big old gold, check out the OG leaderboard. Check out like as especially being one way to funnel. If there's like a big special place on the mobile app where you can click and see the actual live leaderboard, that would be like a really cool honor to the OGs so that they can see our leaderboard through the mobile app. So I like that idea that you had. I think I'm gonna put that in the feedback too.
Right on. No, I think it would be cool, right? Especially because, you know, the one big thing, and I put it in the feedback. So if anybody resonates with this, maybe, go and parrot it or like it or whatever, right? But I think the biggest thing for me is like, I do not want Main City Mobile to be a brand new city. I do not want to build another city, right? I've got a city on desktop. I want this to be focused on the community aspects, right? I'm almost thinking of it like a companion app, right? Where it's like, hey, when I'm away from my desktop, where I can run better expeditions and manage the community and guilds and all that type of stuff better through desktop, it's more of just like I can join in on raids or join in on missions or, chat with friends and stuff like that to start a raid group, right? More focused on that community aspect. And then that way they could highlight still being like, hey, I want to see who are the top city builders, right? And that comes to the mobile leaderboard, and they can come up, bring it up, and be like, oh man, okay, I could see who's the top 100 or top 1,000 maybe, because the leaderboard's fucked. Pardon my French there, but like, there's too many. Like, there's 200,000 people on there, but like 195,000 of them have 0 gold. Right, so it's just like trying to use the little scroll bar right now is like impossible. You have to like just literally scroll through the leaderboard. So that's where it'd be kind of cool if they did like a top 1,000. Right, here's the top 1,000 people, because then that would be a goal for people to come over to desktop and be like, I want to be seen on the top 10 or the top 1,000 leaderboard in the app as well, and they grind hard to get there, to get to the top 1,000. So that they could be like, look, I'm on the leaderboard. I'm one of the top 1,000 city builders, right? So I think that would be kind of a cool aspect. But I mean, the big thing is, I don't want to build another city. I already have too many businesses. I have my city built. I don't want that to be the focus of the mobile app. I really want it to be focused on expeditions, community building, fun stuff, activities that you can do with friends. Right. Yeah. And then the desktop versions, you could still play the expeditions and do all that stuff too that the mobile app has, but it's also got the city building.
Yes. If you want to build the city, if you really want to be a tycoon, then go to the PC. You want to, play casually, fun, expedition mode, come back, check your phone in 20 minutes so you can click again or collect your winnings and then put your phone down for another half an hour, do what you got to do, come back, that would be great. And then, for city building, go to the PC.
Yeah.
For exploration and small fun, go to the mobile, and keep them both kind of like connected here and there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's also good. Mm-hmm.
That's sort of my vision when it comes to it, right? So, and then that way, there can still be the resource market on desktop where we could sell essences and whatever other resources that they bring out. And there wouldn't really be a need for a market on the mobile app, right? Because a lot of the times the stuff that you're collecting will either go over to your desktop version, or you would be using them in game to boost your character or whatever you got to do, right? But I don't know. I'm excited. You know, I think during the space, I was sort of like concerned until I started like to think about it more, right? It was a lot to digest at once, right? Just to be like, yeah, we're, you know, resetting, and the whole main city mobile is going to be like a brand new game, right? And so it took a little bit to like, because, you know, I mean, we were all prepping, right? A lot of us had been prepping for the influx of new players that we sort of anticipated coming, right? You know, some of them come in, it's like, hey, I got a business I could sell you. I'll tell you the strategy to get caught up and all this type of stuff, right? But now it's sort of like mobile's not going to have that. But they're hoping that mobile brings in more players onto the desktop. So there's still a hope that there's going to be, you know, one in every 100 player on mobile comes to desktop. I mean, that's about as best as we probably could hope for, but it'd still be better than none.
Yeah, and even those few players that come in, hopefully they will buy those businesses that we're building up to, and like you said, you know, building and hoping that those new players from mobile are the ones that are gonna be buying these businesses. We know for sure that they're gonna be buying NFTs because if they want those significant boosts. So that's definitely great. They're gonna be able to use those NFTs. So that's market, right? That's value to those NFTs.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
so hopefully those, hopefully they'll come and buy those businesses too.
Yeah, and that's where I was
If they
thinking
wanna
too, right? Like if they could, like they're already specifying that as landowners we're going to get some benefit. You know what and it could tie back into you know, the ability to, or I guess the availability of the leaderboard from desktop in the mobile app. Because it'd be kind of cool too if they decided like, okay, if you've got a Division 1 city, right, then anybody that goes and does stuff on your land, they're going to be getting like an extra like 5% increase in loot or something like that, right? So they can get 5% more resources out of your land. If you're a Division 2 player, they could get, you know, upwards of like 8. And then, you know, Division 3, Division 4, blah, blah, blah. And it just keeps increasing, right? And maybe with that, too, you get a little bit more because your city is better for those lands, right? Like you built up a high division city, right? So it'd be kind of cool to see some sort of like tied benefit to how high we are on the division leaderboard, just to be able to tie into the resources. Because then, you know, that's where a lot of players would start to be like, hey, I want to raid with somebody in Division 2 because I get a little bit extra. Or, you know, they're Division 0, so they're like, hey, anybody in Division 1 want to go raiding? Or it might even incentivize them to be like, hey, I'm almost at Division 1. I'm going to grind and, you know, play a little bit harder on desktop and get to Division 1 because now I get those benefits for me and my friends, right? So when we go and raid and monster fight together, I'm providing a little bit of extra utility because now I've got a higher division city and we get more loot, we get better, you know, encounters, we get maybe rarer stuff drop, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. That's great. I hadn't really thought about the quality of the businesses, how high the businesses, the prestige playing a part when it comes to expedition. So that would be good too. Not only the land, but what kind of business. If there's better rewards, if your land has an apex, and even better if it's a quality 5 rather than a quality 2. If it's like you said, if it's Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, having the type of businesses that would also bring more value to the business in the market.
Or maybe
right?
there's like you said with the apex, maybe like let's say for interest's sake, there's like a bunch of different resources, right? The resources could be iron, and you've got your copper, and then we've got I don't know, wood for something, or charcoal, right? And you know, you get all these different resources, and maybe having an apex tower on that land, right? Because each region's going to have different resources available, probably like a pool of like 10 different resources. and each one will probably be shared with another one or something, right? But maybe putting the apex tower on specific land is going to boost the amount of this specific resource that you find in this region, right? So you can like try to set up your city. I guess it kind of goes counterintuitive though to the imbuing, because then if you imbue and you're swapping around, I don't know, we'll see. None of this is real.
Yeah,
This is all
there
just
you go. That's
speculation.
another good aspect, imbuing. Yeah, and what if the imbuing? Yeah, if you have the right business with the right element in the right land, with the right tools,
you become the king of all of that one resource.
yeah, the element, if you have the petabyte with the blockchain, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And an apex.
And an apex. Got to have the apex.
You gotta have the apex.
And a bank.
Where's
The
apex
apex
gone
bank.
when you need them?
Yeah, exactly. Get the apex and the bank together. Get yourself a nice little financial sector going. Corner yourself that one specific resource, and you're just making bank.
I forgot about the business combos. See, look at that. We're getting more and more into the game.
Yeah, hey, they could do a lot of stuff, but I mean, the first thing is let's see what the actual game is going to be for mobile. Because I remember they showed a picture of a city on mobile, so I really hope we're not building another city, because I don't want to. Like, to be fair, I'm already building one city, and it's kind of getting boring, right? I don't want to build another city, and have them not connected at all. What's that?
Yeah, like by building a start from zero, just like a competition, Like we already have the competitions for that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's why when he first mentioned that, right, like the starting from zero and stuff, I honestly thought maybe he was getting confused on the question and was thinking like he was referring to competitions, and then saying like, yeah, everybody starts at zero, and the whole city starts fresh and all this type of stuff, and that's what I thought he was talking about. The competitions, but then when he was like, no, it's for mobile, I was like, oh man, that's not good.
Yeah, and I think like you said, that was the first reaction in the plaza. And the thing with ideas as humans that we have is we bounce ideas around, and for some reason sometimes the negative ideas get a little more focused and wild, and a little more, they spread a little easier than positive ideas sometimes. And positive ideas, or not just positive, or just kind of calming, and it's human nature, right? I want to emphasize, and I did in the spaces too, that I don't want to sound not sympathetic, to the sentiment. But I was also putting a comment that if we expect that, we also limiting the possibilities of what they could do, by it being different. And something that I was just thinking about right now too is that it's how Woodrow was saying, that some people are limited in resources, and they don't have the resources for a PC, so they were really excited to wait for the mobile so that we can kind of like play together. You're playing in mobile and I'm playing on PC, but yet we could still like play together, even if it's not, even if you don't have a PC. We could still, and it sounds like it'll still be, we will be able to play together in the mobile, but it's just not the same game. You won't be able to see me while I'm playing PC, play with you at the same time playing mobile. But I was also thinking about just the hardware that is required for for certain experiences, right? Like if you want to play a VR game, you literally have to buy the VR set. So with that in mind, the fact that we are still thinking about the possibility of going to each other's lands and each other's mansions and each other's like in VR, and we're gonna have to step up to get a VR headset for that. And I'm not gonna say like, oh, it's not fair that I can't do the VR because I don't have a VR. I'm gonna have to do something and try to come up with some money to get that VR. So that might be a way of funneling to a VR experience from a PC. So that could kind of like be the same vision from the mobile to a PC.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, because that's one thing. Well, that's probably a couple years away. I mean, with with the pace the developers are doing at the moment, maybe 5 years, 10 years from now.
You said decade? Did I hear decades away?
Yeah, a couple decades away. You
Right?
know,
That's more like main city timing.
yeah, exactly. Something our children can enjoy. But
Yeah, I'll put it on my will.
yeah, exactly. And to my favorite son to leave this apex.
Yeah, but that's actually another point that they mention in the spaces that we are really hoping and as landowners, as they're saying, and as the vision of all these NFTs and even the loaded lions, we are expecting for these things to really really raise in value. And somebody said, I'm really expecting to leave these NFTs as a will to my kids, and for them to take full advantage of this division that we're building, right?
Yeah, I mean, and
So
that's where
yeah.
like these passive rewards that are going to come from players exploring our lands. I think that's going to be an interesting perspective to take, because it's like, how much are these resources going to actually net us? Like, is there going to be some other? Yeah, who knows? It'll be interesting to see. I mean, the initial
That's a very good point too.
yeah, the initial shock is worn off, I think. From the great mobile reset news. Now it's sort of like, I'm excited. I'm still excited to see what they come out with, especially because like there's going to be, I think, a good influx if they make the game addicting enough, and the exploration and the monster fighting and all that type of stuff is like visually attractive, and that's what the mobile app's going to be focused on. Then I could see, a lot of people coming in, a lot, because like, think of like all the students I have that like play Roblox and all these other types of games, right? Where like they're able to go and I think there's like a slight market maybe in those games where you're able to sell stuff or trade things with other players in game, but maybe no official like money trades hands. So like that might be how they get around it in the future. But I think, if they came in and said, yeah, we're not going to be able to allow you to sell any of the businesses on the mobile app, I think that would have been, but we're still going to build, like if it was a 1-for-1 but no market for selling businesses, I think people would be upset too, right? Especially because a lot of us have, collected businesses with the anticipation of selling them later on. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see. I mean, all we can do is speculate about what mobile is going to be. But we're in the final stretch here. They've got a month and a half left, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and the what they already said, next month explorations, right? So next month exploration sounds really, really exciting right there.
Yeah, sorry, I guess it's 2.5 months, right? Because they have half of April, they have all of May, and all of June to release mobile. So it has to be before the end of June, I'm pretty sure. So sometime after, and that's what I had always been saying, after the expeditions and monster fighting's been released, I feel that's when they're going to bring out the mobile. But that was just strictly because I figured they wanted us to play test it. But now that it sounds like we're probably going to be doing some play testing of it as well to make sure expeditions and monsters and all that type of stuff work correctly, before it goes and gets pushed to mobile. And then the mobile and desktop versions are going to be completely separate for leaderboards, I guess. So we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, overall, I think, the initial shock is worn off, and I think, we did react pretty strongly, which I think is needed sometimes with these developers, especially because then at least it prompted them to get this dev diary out. And I think this at least gave us a good direction of where they're going. And I think, a lot of people came away with at least some understanding as to why it's being done.
Yeah, and I think it's great that we're doing this podcast because the plaza has been more quiet after like you said, the initial shock, and people are still kind of like digesting things in spaces. So yeah, I think this podcast is gonna come really, really into play to just kind of like put more ideas out there and just to process the ideas that are already out there, to providing new possibilities, and just to reignite the passion for the game, and to also keep a perspective, looking at the past of how a lot of times when they do new things, it kind of creates a shock. But then after things get implemented and play out, and we kind of like enjoy the changes and the updates, we kind of like, end up with a better attitude. I think the only update that kind of like has been uh, brought or accepted with kind of like a bitter taste is the fact that we can attack our own faction with no kind of like consequence or whatever. That's something that we've been. I think that's about the only update that we're kind of like, But I think other than that, we've been pretty happy about things with the regions
Yeah.
and just attacks, defenses when they were introduced and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited about the new changes, trying it out, and just having that new kid with a new toy experience kind of thing.
Yeah, I just hope my phone can handle whatever they're bringing out. I don't want to have to buy a new phone just to play, but I will if need be. I do need a new phone anyways.
There you go.
Be my excuse. Oh, I need a new phone to play Main City Mobile. Gotta go get a new phone.
Yeah. Gotta have it.
Yeah.
Have it. It's a necessity now.
Exactly. But yeah, guys, if you made it this far, we'd love to hear what your opinion is. What do you guys think's coming with mobile? Do you think we're going to be building a city? I know they had some photos from back in the day of basically a city on a mobile device. I think that's what was leading a lot of people to believe that it was going to be just a one-for-one port, of the desktop version over to mobile. Now that it's not, I'm kind of excited to see what they're bringing out. I just, I hope that with their roadmap, they still are planning 2027 new game for us to play, but maybe they'll try to swing it as this game is the new game. But regardless, I don't think there's any changing the regulations that are available for these Play Store and the App Store, the Apple App Store. So we're sort of held to the regulatory bodies and the route that Main City decides to go to navigate these regulatory issues. So I think if they've got a sound way to go about it, I'm just going to have to sit tight and look forward to seeing what they bring out as the mobile app. But we do have the expeditions coming out sometime next month. So hopefully we'll have some new news on that. Maybe be able to do a podcast specific to the expedition system. So hopefully we get some more information sooner rather than later. But at least we're given a timeline, right? Next month sometime. So it's better than soon.
Yeah, definitely. So you guys know that they also promised a competition soon. Also, they said on one of those articles or somewhere there that they have monthly competitions, and I think they were trying to keep them monthly. I think probably for New Year. I think January is when you said like they did it at the very last day of January. So I'm expecting an announcement tomorrow for the next Blitz or sometime this week for the next Blitz. So we'll see if they have that coming up. So yeah, guys, we'd like to hear what you guys think about, the new possibilities. Like Arwing said, after the shock wears down, what are you guys, imagining? What do you guys put it down there of anything you would like to see in the game? Like they said, they also mentioned that we'll be able to use our avatars. So are you guys excited for sending out your different NFTs that you've been gathering and collecting throughout the years? Are you guys excited for them to finally be out there and exploring the lands? Let us know.
I know I am. I am definitely excited for that. Send out
Right?
I think it'll be cool. Now, I'm wondering if they've got them animated or if it's just... And that's where it's like, I'm wondering what the actual technical capabilities of this game is going to be. Is it just going to be, we equip like 5 pictures? Or I guess, one picture to join up with like 3 other people and send that picture out, and that's our avatar going out? Or is there actually going to be like a 3D model? Are we going to control them? Is this just a very And I think they're probably leaning towards a very passive, like you set out on an expedition and check in like 2 hours, collect your resources that you found, and then set out on another one, right? But I mean, I'm hoping on desktop there's a little bit more activity. I know Papa Bigfoot's always saying we need something streamer friendly, and I 100% agree. Like there's nothing exciting enough to be able to sit down and stream Main City for even an hour. You know what I mean? Like the most exciting thing is drop down attacking. Like, right? That's like every 20 minutes. So like that's not doesn't cut it, I don't think, for a streamer friendly type activity. So I do hope that in the future there is going to be something, you know, where we are actually out there walking around, exploring the wilderness, you know, and with 3 other friends. That would be amazing, right? And they're able to walk around with us, and that would be a good streamer activity, right? You know, get the voice chat going, get streaming on YouTube, and we're all just chit chatting. Be a good time.
Yeah. I definitely agree with Papa that we want something more streamable. Definitely, because even the last Blitz, I started recording, and I was like, okay, I'll probably, you know, just record and put it all together. But I feel like halfway, I kind of like lost the train of thought what I was doing, where I left off in the recording. So I just like stopped recording. It's not the same. If I would have kept recording, and I would have probably put a nice video together for the whole Blitz. But like you said, it's not extremely friendly right now. It's not, you know, we could do better.
Yeah.
And we're hoping that it is going to be better. We're hoping that it is going to be more action, because we both love making videos.
Yeah, exactly. Like if there was like, you know, because I'm thinking back to like the old days when like, what was it? Like Destiny 1, even Destiny 2 when they came out, right? There was always like some hidden mechanic to like the daily quest or something that you had to do. And so, you know, people would make like walkthrough videos and stuff. And I think that would be kind of fun if there was like, you know, some hidden thing or something that, you know, first person to figure it out, make videos around it. And, you know, at least then, and if there's daily missions and stuff to do, there's always, you know, okay, let's do today's daily mission. At least then you have like, you know, if it's a 30-minute little episode that you have to play through, at least you have 30 minutes of like daily content that you could go and, you know, put this one out, you know, talk to your, you know, followers and stuff just about whatever's going on, or whatever's happening in the mission or whatever, right? But at least it'd be something more than just like, okay, guys, here's my city. All right, taking all my businesses off. We're going to drop down, smack this guy, put all my businesses back on, wait, talk for like 20 minutes. Okay, next, do another drop down. Like, it's just not that exciting.
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully they will. I'm pretty excited, and I think that they will be. And any new update, we are gonna make videos about it. But it'll be nicer if you said like there's some more action going on.
Yeah,
mostly just us narrating.
Yeah, some daily activities, things where we can like actually walk around and do stuff. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what they come out with. But yeah, I mean, so we'll see. If you guys have made it this far, we'd love to hear what you guys think for mobile, and what you guys are thinking expeditions are going to be like. You know, if you feel free to drop it down in the comments, let us know. Also, if you were playing the last Blitz, let us know how you did. And if you have any tips or secrets you want to share with us, by all means, we'd love to hear. If you did make it into the top 100, congratulations. Hopefully the pack prize is being sent out shortly. I mean, we're still waiting on the vouchers too, so nothing's been distributed yet. But yeah, other than that, I think that's all we've really got for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed the speculation and obviously the serious news of the discussions that happened in the spaces. But yeah, I mean, as of right now, we got half a month to go before we're into the month that they've promised expeditions.
Yeah. Thank you guys for being with us. We're in this together. We're processing everything together. So thank you guys for being with us. And thank you, Arwing, for hosting again and keeping us on track and putting everything together. And it's always great to talk Main City.
Most definitely. It's always good to have you on again. And I mean, we could probably talk for hours, but I think we're at an hour 40 minutes. That's probably pretty good. So yeah, I appreciate you taking the time. Hopefully we could do another one in about 2 weeks. Maybe we'll have a new blitz to talk about coming up soon. Maybe it'll be a sponsored one. Who knows? And hopefully we'll have some new information when it comes to expeditions as well. So I have a feeling they're going to do an explorer's blitz or something, right? And then expeditions will come out. So
That sounds good. That sounds good.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
Another reason for me to stay inside where the AC's blasting, opposed to having to go out into the heat.
That nice. Yeah, we do. That would be good. Like the elemental blitz, we need an explorer blitz.
Yeah, exactly. Bring in the explorers. Get out there and start exploring the wilderness. So
Yeah.
it's all we can ask for. But yeah, hopefully we get some more information coming up soon. But other than that, guys, thanks for listening to us, and we'll catch you in the next podcast.
Yes, thank you for being with us. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.